Good morning, students. I welcome you all for the online session of economics classes. Myself, Padmaja. Today, we will be going to learn the nominal and real GDP. One implicit assumption in all this discussion is that the prices of goods and services do not change during the period of our study. If prices change, then there will be difficulties in comparing GDPs. This line states that when we are making a survey regarding to prices of goods and services, maybe that time the prices must be something differ. And when we are actually calculating the GDP, that time the prices varies. It may increase, it may decrease. But this variation in the prices may affect our GDP calculation because we have to estimate the correct GDP. If we measure the GDP of a company of a country in 2 consecutive years and see that the figure for GDP of the later year is twice that of the previous year, we may conclude that the volume of production of the country has doubled. But it is possible that only prices of all goods and services have doubled between the 2 years, whereas the production has remained constant. Maybe it can be the situation. The GDP of the previous year can be differed just because the prices have been varied, but production has been the same. Therefore, in order to compare the GDP figures and other macroeconomic variables of different countries, or to compare the GDP figures of the same country at different points of time, we cannot rely on GDPs evaluated at current market prices. For comparison, we take the help of real GDP. What is real GDP? Real GDP is calculated in a way such that the goods and services are evaluated at some constant set of prices or constant prices. I think the meaning is clear. Real GDP is that GDP in which the prices remains constant for all the goods and services. It will not vary with the changing time. Since these prices remain fixed, if the real GDP changes, we can be sure that it is the volume of production. Why we are giving the reason volume of production has been changed? Because prices remain same and still the GDP increases. It means production has increased, not the price, which is already remain constant, which is undergoing changes. Whereas nominal GDP on the other hand is simply the value of GDP at the current prevailing prices. For example, suppose a country only produces bread. In the year 2000, it has produced 100 units of bread. Price was rupees 10 per bread. GDP at current price was rupees 1000. In 2001, the same country produced 110 units of bread at price rupees 15 per bread. Therefore, nominal GDP in 2001 was 1650, that is 110 into 15. It will produce 110 into 15 rupees per bread, so it cost 1650. Real GDP in 2001 calculated the price of the year 2000 only. It will not change. So 2000 will be calculated, called the base year, will be 110 into 10, that is 1100. So I think the meaning is clear to you people. Here that we can get 100 units of bread was produced into 10 rupees. That was 2000, the base year. 100 units of bread price was rupees 10. That time the base year price was 1000 rupees. 2001, if we are calculating according to GDP, real GDP, then it will be 110. It produced 110 in 110 into 10, it will cost rupees 1100. It will not be changing in real GDP, whereas in nominal GDP it will vary, because in 2000 it will be 1000 and in 2001 it will be 1100. Notice that the ratio of nominal GDP to real GDP gives us an idea of how prices have moved from the base year, the year whose prices are being used to calculate the real GDP, to the current year. In the calculation of real and nominal GDP of the current year, the volume of production is fixed. It means it will not be changing. Volume of production has 1000 unit we were producing in 2000, it will be 1000 unit in 2001 also. Therefore, if this measure differs, it is only due to change the price level, because the base year and the current year, between the base year and the current year. The ratio of nominal to real GDP is a well-known index of prices. The ratio means first we will calculate the nominal GDP, then we will take the real GDP, and the ratio when it will be taking, it is index of prices. This is called which index of prices? That is GDP deflator. Thus, if GDP stands for nominal GDP and GDP stands for real GDP, then GDP deflator equals to GDP upon GDP. That is for nominal GDP, capital GDP, and for real GDP, that is a small GDP. Or we can give one more formula, that is GDP deflator equals to nominal GDP upon real GDP. It will be easy for the students. Sometimes the deflator is also denoted in percentage terms. In such a case, only we have to do what the formula we have learned into 100 for calculating in percentage. GDP deflator equals to nominal GDP, that is capital GDP, divided by real GDP, that is a small abbreviation, into 100%. In the previous example, the GDP deflator is, that is we have learned that 110 into 15 we have got 1650, and 110 into 10 what we got, it was 1100 according to real GDP. Nominal GDP, the answer came 1650, and the real GDP, the answer came 1100, we had calculated earlier. If we will divide it, it will be known as GDP deflator 1.50. I think nominal GDP, real GDP and GDP deflator is clear. In this paragraph we have learned 3 formulas. This implies that the price of bread produced in 2001 was 1.5 times the price in 2000, which is true because price of bread has indeed gone up from rupees 10 to rupees 15. Like GDP deflator, we can have GNP deflator as well. There is another way to measure change of prices in an economy, which is known as Consumer Price Index, that is CPI. I am again repeating, change of prices in an economy, which is also known as Consumer Price Index, that is CPI. This is the index of prices of a given basket of commodities which are bought by the representative consumer. CPI is generally expressed in percentage terms. Let us explain to you what are the basket of commodities. There are different consumers in the market. Like for example, for one person, the things he or she purchase is apples, mangoes, banana. That is basket of commodity purchased by a consumer. Another consumer purchase apples, mangoes, bananas, pineapple. This is the basket of commodity purchased by the second consumer. So this is considered as basket of commodities. We have 2 years under consideration. One is the base year, the other is the current year. We calculate the cost of purchase of a given basket of commodities in the base year. We also calculate the cost of purchase of the same basket in the current year. Then we express the latter as a percentage of the former. This gives us the consumer price index of the current year vis-a-vis the base year. For example, let us take an economy which produces 2 goods, rice and cloth. A representative consumer buys 90 kg of rice and 5 pieces of cloth in a year. Suppose in the year 2000, the price of a kg of rice was rupees 10, that is the base year. Remember, this 2000 is the base year. And a piece of cloth was rupees 100. This is the price of base year, rupees 10 and rupees 100. So the consumer had to spend a total sum of rupees 10 into 90 kg if he purchased the 900 on rice in 2000. Similarly, she spent rupees 100 into 5 meters of cloth if he purchased, then rupees 500 per year on cloth. Summation equals to how much he had expended, that is 900 plus 500 equals to 400. I think this calculation is clear to you, so you have learnt in the childhood. Now suppose the price of kg of rice and a piece of cloth has gone up to rupees 15 and rupees 120 in the year 2005. This is the current year. To buy the same quantity of rice and cloth according to nominal GDP, the representative will have to spend rupees 1350. How 1350? That is 15 into 90, that comes 1350, and rupees 120 into 5 meters of cloth, that was 600 respectively, calculated in a similar way as before. The sum will be rupees 1350 plus 600, that is 1950. Here GDP has been increased from 1400 to 1950. Let us calculate the CPI, consumer per index. That therefore will be 1950 upon 1400, that is the current year price upon base year price into 100, that comes 139.29 approximately. It is worth noting that many commodities have two sets of prices. One is the retail price, which the consumer actually pays. The other is the wholesale price. The price at which goods are traded in bulk, this too may differ in value because of the margin kept by the traders. Goods which are traded in bulk, such as raw materials or semi-finished goods, are not purchased by ordinary consumers. Like CPI, the index for wholesale prices is called wholesale price index. In countries like USA, it is referred to as producer price index, which is considered in our country as wholesale price index. Notice CPI and analogously wholesale price index may differ from GDP deflator because the goods purchased by consumers do not represent all the goods which are produced in a country. GDP deflator takes into account all such goods and services. CPI includes prices of goods consumed by the representative consumer, hence it includes prices of imported goods. GDP deflator does not include prices of imported goods. The weights are constant in CPI, but they differ according to production level of each goods in GDP deflator. So this class gets over by the learning of nominal GDP and real GDP. We have learned 4 formulas, that was nominal GDP, then the real GDP, that is the price where the price remain constant, the current if the years also changes. Nominal GDP where the price fluctuates with the change in time. GDP deflator equals to nominal GDP upon real GDP, and wholesale CPI, that is the current year price in total summation in divided by base year price summation into 100. Next class we will be going to learn the GDP and welfare. Students, please attend the classes so as to get the attendance. Though the classes will be practically be done in the schools, but still you have to attend these classes to get the attendance of April month. Thank you.